Hello, my name is Nimesh and welcome to another video. And this one is one of those stories that honestly makes me smile as a comic book fan. Because while Hollywood keeps trying to figure out how to connect with comic readers, one actress quietly became one of us. And now Iman Vellani is officially launching her own creator-owned comic with Image Comics called Chachu. And guys, this might actually be the perfect move for her career. Because you know that in comics books is where all the money is. But jokes aside, you know what's fascinating about this? Most actors who jump into comics usually do one of two things. They either slap their name on a project for marketing, or they genuinely love comics and surprise everybody. And I think Iman Vellani is landing in the second category. Because unlike a lot of celebrity comic projects, this doesn't feel corporate. It feels personal. It feels something like Iman has a story to tell. And honestly, that's why people are already paying attention. According to the announcement, Chachu is a 5-issue neo-noir miniseries releasing through Image Comics and Tynion, the company founded by James Tynion IV. The story takes place in 1979 and follows a 19-year-old Pakistani-Canadian woman named Leila, who travels to California to reconnect with her estranged uncle, a semi-retired private investigator whose wife mysteriously disappears again. And for those who don't know, Chachu means uncle in Pakistani, I think. And immediately you can feel the vibe. This sounds less like superhero celebrity comics and more like indie crime drama, coming of age story, family mystery, and a road trip noir. It looks more like an A24 movie than a Marvel comic. And that's smart, because if you're Iman Vellani, the last thing you want to do is launch your first creator-owned comic and make Miss Marvel, but indie. Instead, she's doing something with identity, nostalgia, generational tension, and mystery. That's how you build credibility in comics. Now, there's the thing people may not realize. This is not actually her first comic work. Iman already co-wrote multiple Marvel comics, Miss Marvel projects, alongside Sabir Pirzada, which included Miss Marvel The New Mutant, Miss Marvel Mutant Menace, and stories tied into Marvel Anniversary. And surprisingly, comics readers actually liked them. That's the shocking part, because usually when celebrity enters comics, fandoms get very cynical. But Iman has something most actors don't. She's a legitimate comic nerd, like deep cut reference comic nerd. Even Marvel editors talk how much comic knowledge she brought into the room. And if you look at reactions online right now, fans are mostly supportive because they feel she earned this opportunity. That matters a lot. Now, obviously, this is not the first celebrity who comes to comic books. There already have been others who tried this avenue. For example, the biggest success story is definitely Keanu Reeves. Keanu is probably the gold standard right now. His comic BRZRKR became an absolute monster hit. Not just because of his name, although obviously that helped, but because the book actually connected with readers. It sold insanely well, expanded into novels, anime development, and Netflix adaptation. You guys already know what I think about Netflix adaptations. But yeah, check out my other video about, I think it was, what was adapted for that? Oh, Barbaric Netflix adaptation. You will clearly know about it. But it became a real comic property, and Keanu approached it seriously. He surrounded himself with strong creators and treated comics like comics, not a vanity project. That's the key lesson. Then, for example, you have another project like Ronda Rousey getting involved in comics. She recently had this crazy fight on Netflix. Again, Netflix. And you guys know the result. So anyway, move on. And look, some celebrity books create buzz for a month and then disappear because comic readers can smell authenticity immediately. You know, like the fight. You can't fake comic culture. You either love the medium or you're doing a press tour stunt, you know? Okay, I won't mention the fight again. And that's honestly why I think Iman has a better chance than most celebrities entering this space. Because she already talks like someone who grew up inside comic shops. Image Comics might be the perfect publisher for this. Because Image has become the home for creator-driven books. I have a counter argument to this, where I think crowdfunding has become the new modern Image comic style of... I'll probably do another video about that, explaining that on another. Image has become the home for creator-driven comics. That's where creators go when they want ownership. On the crowdfunding, obviously, is the same. You have total control, and you don't have to pay a fee to be on Image Comics. You know, that's... On Image Comics is where weird ideas survive. That's where personal storytelling can actually breathe. And pairing her with Tynion is also very smart because James Tynion understands how to position indie books for both comic book audience and Hollywood audience. So this feels calculated in a good way. But I think the bigger story in this is Iman Vellani might quietly be building a second career, not just as an actress, but as a comic creator. Her things are awesome. And that's rare. Usually actors dip into comics temporarily. But Iman feels like someone who genuinely wants to live in this medium long term. And honestly, that's exciting for indie comics. To have a creator like this among us, always good for credibility. Because every time somebody with mainstream visibility enters this space authentically, it helps bring new eyes to independent comics. Maybe someone will discover your comic because of Iman Vellani. After they read Chachu, they say, let me see what else there is in indie comics. And this is good, especially for young readers. We need younger readers. And maybe even MCU fans, maybe, who never touched an indie comic before, they can try and say, oh wow, there is a lot of incredible stories here. So now the question becomes, can Chachu become her berserk moment? Maybe not commercially at the same level as Keanu, because Keanu is Keanu Reeves, obviously, but creatively, I genuinely think this has a shot. The premise sounds strong, the creative team sounds legit, and most importantly, this feels like a comic someone actually wants to write. Not just a comic someone's agent packed together and see what happens. And that makes all the difference, because comic readers can tell the difference immediately. And I think that's exactly why people are paying attention to Chachu. But anyway, let me know, what do you think about this comic? Do you think it will be good as BRZRKR, or at least to surpass what Ronda Rousey did with her comic? And also, what do you think about celebrities coming to our space? Do you think it's a good for us, or it just destroys us completely? Let me know in the comments. I would like to hear your opinions on it. My name is Nimesh. Thank you for watching this video. If you like videos like this, please subscribe and to the channel so you get notification, and I'll see you on the next one.